Boys, it's finally over. After years of stopping me from having to give a single website any ad revenue, Google Chrome took my boy uBlock Origin and publicly executed it in the back of a Tesco parking lot. And in only a week, I've been exposed to a nuclear amount of absolutely garbage ads where the only thing that any of these are selling me on is installing literally any other browser. Because, you know, as someone whose income basically relies entirely on advertising, I feel almost no shame talking about how much I fucking hate ads. I mean, they're not all bad, okay? Like, I can think of a couple good ones. There were like those old Citroen ads where the car turns into a robot and cranks out some Fortnite emotes that were like my shit as an 8-year-old, and all this time later, nothing has changed because I still love this ad and still can't afford that car. Because for every one of those that actually tried, you get this garbage-ass ad we have here in Australia for what's basically our shitty equivalent of 7-Eleven.
Go, a Mose, go, a Mose, you do the high bit, go, a Mose, go.
Where the only thing it's making me want to buy is an AR-15 and 85 years in prison. Online marketing has gone to absolute shit, okay? I barely even see any actual commercials anymore buried underneath all this softcore AI hentai and anime stepbro incest webcomics polluting my Twitter feed that's making it somehow even more unusable than it already was. And do not tell me these are targeted, okay? I know, and I'm very worried about it. We're at the point where gambling companies are buying ad space on the bottom of memes about chicken, and the issue is that it's actually working, because now we're at a point where posting brain rot is a viable marketing strategy because companies are employing what I'm going to coin as meme marketing.
Me, Flying Gorilla, from my new app on the App Store, Flying Gorilla. It's a free download, so I hope you check it out, and I hope...
A lot of these like coast off the shock value of like an official brand account posting about their mascot semen, which works for some companies who aren't Burger King. You go onto TikTok and you got the frickin' Australian Labour Party professionally shitposting now to cater to a generation who can't even vote yet.
I speak of Generation Z, who will be playing a substantial role in the next election. It is for this reason that I shall now render the remainder of my statement using language they're familiar with. To the Sigmas of Australia, I say that this goofy-air government have been capping. Chat, is this Prime Minister serious?
I think ads like this are fine on their own, okay? Like, if I only saw that OTR ad once, I wouldn't have to have counseling every week. But the thing with ads is that we all know you're going to be seeing that shit like 50 million times. It's why people hate YouTube sponsors, which I have to be really careful with how I talk about because I need these things to live. But you know what I'm talking about, right? Like, if I was to go, you know, for example... But first, this video is sponsored by everyone's favorite mobile game because I have to pay rent now. In case this is the first YouTube video you've watched in your life, Raid is a free-to-play mobile and PC game with over 5 million users and more champions than I'm contractually allowed to tell you about. But it means you can play as my favorite character, Gnut, who has an ability called No Holding Back. But to celebrate the game turning 6, not only is it now the same age as the average viewer of my videos, but that they're also offering new players the legendary champion Muscle Mummy Zargala, exclusively with the link in the description or through the QR code that's mandated to be on screen the entire time. But the reason they call Raid the Mr. Beast of mobile games is because you can also get 60 bucks of real life money's worth of goodies and one of 4 legendary codes to choose from within 48 hours of downloading the game. Like, you can get Garlic, you can get Loki, you can get Alice, you can get a monkey, plus another 4 codes for new and relapsing players where one is redeemable every 24 hours. So make sure you click the link in the description or use the QR code to download Raid and claim all your incredible limited time bonuses right now. Join my clan when you hit level 13 and then finish watching this video while you're playing the greatest mobile game of all time. Yeah, you know, something like that. Okay, it's gotten to a point where if any of us hear those words, it activates like this inbuilt Winter Soldier programming to violently assault the right side of your phone screen. But it's not like the ads on their own is what's annoying. It's just having to hear about them over and over and over, and please stop talking about your balls, man. YouTube even just added like a whole ass sponsor skip feature with premium now, which is totally cool and not disrespectful to creators at all. But I can tell you from experience that it's like kind of hard to find products to shill that aren't actively scamming their entire user base or ball raisers.
Gentlemen, I want to show you my balls.
Usually the second people find out that these things are shady as hell, they get nuked off the face of the website. But there's one brand that survived the onslaught of expose videos, and that's Temu. For those of you who don't know, which is absolutely none of you, Temu is a Chinese site where you can buy literally anything you've never needed in your entire life. Temu is a dropshipping company, which means they don't make a single thing in-house, so they can do away with those annoying, unnecessary steps like safety checks and quality control, which makes it the only site where there's a 50% chance the thing you're ordering is probably going to kill you. Also, they probably monitor and sell off all your personal info for profit, but don't worry about that. Have some big-ass AirPods for $5. Made for children, but probably by children. And Temu's been using all that money they're saving on on unpaid child labor to put out the most aggressive marketing campaign, like maybe of all time, by buying every YouTuber, every banner ad, every Google search for literally any product you look up ever. And yet somehow with all of the money they get from like 57-year-old tech illiterate grandmas, all of their ads still have like the exact same vibe as those shitty knockoff mobile games.
Fake! 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 Fake!
What? Chill! Look, these are totally real and very good quality!
Because these all follow the same formula of hiring an actor to have a mental breakdown about how not a single member of their customer base trusts the fact that they'd sell a Nintendo Switch for $7.
Are you fucking serious?
I talked about it in a video I did last year, but the Norm of the North Twitter account is still one of my favorites on the whole site because of how it used to regularly tweet about his drug addiction and 9/11 memes. And it's not even the only one like that anymore. Like, I'm pretty sure the Nutter Butter social media guy is being paid in LSD. So, like, it is possible for brands to actually be funny. It just requires their social media guy to constantly risk getting fired. And I want to say the least cringe out of any of these is probably Duolingo, because they've decided in the last few years to base their entire brand identity off of a meme everyone made about their mascot being a psychotic criminal. And now over the course of a couple years, their entire social media account is just simping for Dua Lipa and posting Jujutsu Kaisen spoilers. How much you vibe with these depends on how fun you are as a person, but like, love them or hate them, it's still better than whatever the fuck the KFC Portugal account is doing.
What the fuck?
Their latest idea was like a 2-week-long story arc where the bird was assassinated by a Cybertruck so they could start selling merch of his coffin.
We're monetizing grief because we are a corporation. Why process your emotions when you can process a payment?
Like, it was a big enough story that it even made like the national news, where you got to hear them talk about Duolingo memes in that stupid news voice.
But today the app released a video showing its untimely demise at the hands of a Cybertruck.
Even the World Health Organization was tweeting about it and then brought up how smallpox was eradicated in 1980 because they must be really fun at parties. But then, much like Jesus, he was resurrected only 14 days later so they could get back to their regularly scheduled high-budget shit posting. And you know, I was almost kind of getting into this one until I found out that the Duolingo CEO was the same guy who invented Kapshka. And now I'm kind of wishing that the bird wasn't the only one that died. It's the same with the marketing for the Minecraft movie, because they know that their entire audience that aren't kids are just going to be like chronically online depressed 20-somethings like me.
Just we'll get a Sharpie.
Hold me close, a meatball sandwich.
Which is why they're tweeting out official Minecraft movie memes that are formatted to look like they're fucking 20 years old, with such bangers as, when I send you a funny meme, this is what I look like. That shit's hilarious. Not a single thing that's come out of this movie looks real. The toy line is actually insane, because like, what kid doesn't want a middle-aged Jack Black and regular person action figure? Like, all I've gotten from the trailers so far is that the whole thing is just going to be like 2 hours of Jack Black reading a Minecraft encyclopedia.
An ender pearl, flint and steel, the nether. Chicken jockey.
Chicken jockey!
Oh, chicken jockey. I am Steve.
But I mean, the bad guy is called fucking General Chungus, okay? They know what they're doing. It's all designed to, like, capitalize on memes. And they're, like, doing a great job. I mean, that's why I'm going day one, even though I know it's going to be one of the worst experiences of my entire life. And I'm seeing this exact same approach everywhere now, where a brand makes an ad that's so intentionally dog shit that people have to talk about it, and it keeps working every single time. Stop making memes out of it. This is exactly what they want. I know without me even bringing it up, you're thinking of that Grubhub ad, and I just want everyone involved to know that they have nothing to look forward to after they die. Or Chips Ahoy with their dumbass When the Drip is Respectable ad.
It's not easy being so Wait, don't skip.
I mean, sometimes they'll make whole-ass mascots that are meant to piss people off. Like, Domino's had the Noid, who was like this red dickhead whose sole purpose was to promote their new company-mandated pizza speedrun policy where they get your order to you in under 30 minutes, which I'm pretty sure increased vehicular manslaughter statistics more than it did Domino sales. Subway had their whole decade-long campaign with Jared Fogle, whose whole thing was that after eating Subway, he lost most of his body weight, but not the emotional weight of what he did to those kids. But Jared wasn't the only company mascot famous for exposing himself to small children. Does anyone remember back in the day when you used to have to pay actual real human money for a custom ringtone on your phone? That idea nowadays is like so crazy to me. Like, I have just left that shit on the same sound as my alarm for like the last 10 years. So like anytime anyone calls me, it just ruins my entire day. Anyway, the biggest ringtone company was Jamster, who you might not have heard of before, but you've definitely seen this little shit, whose lyrically complex debut single about a gummy bear throwing it back has like more views than half the population of the planet. Jamster already had like a bunch of other annoying talking Tom ass looking mascots, and most of the shit nowadays looks like a Smiling Friends bit.
Get Molly on your phone.
But Crazy Frog was like definitely their main moneymaker, because like what better choice would there be for a company mascot than a guy who's definitely not allowed within 12 feet of a school. I don't know if this was like as big of a thing in America, but like in the UK and Australia, holy shit, this dude was like an inescapable part of the formative years of my childhood. They went so hard on this thing and spent like, what, $50 million marketing the hell out of it? It was something like 87% of the entire UK had seen this ad at least 20 times, which is insane. Like Taylor Swift wishes she had the cultural impact that this fucking gremlin had. And from there, they built like a Crazy Frog empire. This dude had merch and toys. He had like a whole ass DS and PS2 game that I'm like 95% sure they never actually finished making. He reached #1 in way too many countries for us to not be embarrassed about and outsold Coldplay. He did a tour in Australia with a costume that absolutely should not have been allowed near children.
He's pulling his cock out!
And even though eventually they did have to castrate him in order to keep showing him on TV, in the end he ended up making Jamster like $500 million, which is not bad for a frog with his cock out.
Run him over.
But it turns out it was all a lie, because even though their ads made it look like you'd be paying £3 for this absolute banger, what you'd actually be buying into was like the Netflix of shitty ringtones. Turns out Jamster was actually a subscription service that would spam you with promotional text that cost $9 to receive, and the only way to find out how to make it stop was hidden in like the tiny ass fine print in the ad, because they knew you'd be too distracted by Crazy Frog's exposed wang to notice you were racking up like $100 in your phone bill every month. But the betrayal didn't stop there, because in 2021, Crazy Frog finally got out of rehab and made his grand return to the public eye, and dropped a brand new album where he even got to have his dick back. But it turns out all of this was just so that they could scam people again with NFTs, which people got so unbelievably mad about that like the social media guy had to beg people to stop sending him death threats over a pantless cartoon frog, and then started liking tweets about being held hostage. It was like a whole thing. Anyway, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about this time, so thank you guys so much for listening to me complain about the thing that keeps me employed for 10 minutes. Thanks again to Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring this video. Don't forget to like use the link in the description or the QR code to get your cool ass bonuses right now. Be sure to let me know of any of your least favorite ads down in the comments, and if any of you say any of the ones I've made, please know that I do know where you live.